So for those of you that are active on Twitter, you will know that by now that there is expected characters for the first DLC pack of Naruto Storm Connections. Those characters being Isshiki, Isshiki, a new form of Kawaki involving like Isshiki Karma, and Kurenai. Not only that, but we're also expecting Hagoromo too. If you don't believe me, here are some file type beat right here to actually check it out, so that you can see the files there for the characters that are within the game. Shout out to Mueru Storm on Twitter for finding those. So like I said, if a lot of you are on Twitter and you're very active on Twitter, you already knows this. These are the characters that we can be expecting for DLC Pack 1, which is Hagoromo, Isshiki, Kurenai, Kawaki Karma, and Boruto Momoshiki. I found something within the game that actually could suggest other DLC characters. Now obviously these guys aren't actually found within like the deep files like what Mueru could find, otherwise he would have talked about it by now, but I feel like what I found here could be a slight nod towards a future DLC pack. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the footage right now of my find and the revelation, and then I'll talk about it after. So here is going to be my reveal on what I think will be the DLC. So if you go to collection, I'm sure a lot of you may have noticed this already. Go into the stamps. Oh, no, not stamps. I'm lying. Special messages. Hit the filters for all characters. So R1 for PlayStation. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Konohamaru. So Konohamaru here, this is just regular like Konohamaru when he was a kid, right? But if you click on it and then look at the messages, so these are the ones from when he's a kid. You can play it. Oh wait, wrong one. This is the one that he's a kid. But as you can see, he has a Boruto version. Konohamaru Sarutobi Boruto, and it says Boruto in parentheses, which means this is what he would be named, and this is how his name would look if he were a playable character, and he's got his own voice lines as such. So if they have this voice acting and stuff, surely there should be plans for this character to be playable at some point, right? Like, this would be a DLC at some point in time. Because why have voice lines for a character that you cannot play? Alright, let me further show you more proof of this. So go to the bottom of the very list of the filters. You got the characters that you already have, like the Kara group and Momoshiki, Kinshiki. But then we start seeing characters that we don't have that are playable, such as Katasuke, Inojin, Himawari, Shikadai. So obviously, I don't think Katasuke would be a playable character, otherwise he would be like a really funny joke character, in my opinion. So he is least likely to get a DLC. However, Himawari and Inojin and Shikadai here, these three are more so likely. I mean, Himawari could still be like on the bench because she's quite young. But Inojin and Shikadai, they have voice lines. They have voice lines, even though Himawari has voice lines. Let's check out the voice lines. So Shikadai has this one. And then we have Inojin. Which is kind of cool. And then we have Himawari as well. So Himawari actually has more voice lines than the other characters. So Himawari could be a playable character at some point. And just think about it this way: if they got voice actors to voice act for Inojin, Shikadai, and Himawari, then they probably got them to do other things like grunts and attack sounds and things like that. Things that you'd need for battles. So there is probably a potential that these three could be DLC. Now, I'm not saying that these guys will replace the DLC characters that I talked about earlier, but there is that potential that at some point in a future DLC, maybe DLC Pack 2, it could feature these three characters. So yeah, that is right. You can actually see that there are voice lines for the like of Shikadai and Inojin, Himawari, and even Katasuke. Now, I don't think Katasuke is going to be a playable character, as I've already explained. However, the likelihood of Shikadai and Inojin being playable is a lot more higher, and Himawari is probably somewhere around in the middle. But the fact that they have all these voice lines means that they actually have guaranteed voice actors for these characters. So when these characters were recording the voice lines, they must have been in the studio doing some other sounds, right? I think it's very feasible that these characters could be playable, especially the likes of Inojin and Shikadai. I think there's already like a good amount of like ideas that they could do for a moveset. Not only that, but Shikadai pretty much does have like half of a working moveset from Storm 4 when he had his little 3-hit combo and a jutsu and everything. All they gotta do now is just add some more ninja move kunai actions to him or whatever, add like a second jutsu to him, add an ultimate jutsu and an actual good air combo, you know, tweak with the stun, give him some extra combo roots on his up, down and neutral combo, and that's it. That's a full character. He doesn't even need like a special awakening mode really, he just needs to be added into the game, just flat out. And then the same for Inojin, like it just give Inojin some new tech or whatever, some new tech, some new combos, and he could be an easy playable character. Obviously from Inojin they have to start from scratch because he wasn't playable or seen being like fighting in Storm 4. But obviously with Inojin being the child of Ino Yamanaka and Sai, it's pretty easy to make a moveset that combines very much both of their assets. And even in the anime, Inojin actually does take on more of Sai's jutsu anyway, so it probably shouldn't be too hard making like a mini Sai, right? Although I'm really hoping that they add some mind transfer stuff in there. The fact that the only mind transfer thing that Ino has in the entire game is her grab in her Shippuden form is so sad. Anyways, before I start crying about that. And then for Himawari, if they were to make a moveset out of her, I mean, they can just take inspiration from the previous Hyuga characters that have already made playable. We've already got 3 guaranteed Hyugas playable, which was Neji, Hinata, and Hanabi. Not only that, but Hinata and Neji as their younger forms too. So that's 5 Hyugas that we can play as altogether. I mean, technically it's 3, but you know, there's different forms of 2 of them. And to be honest, the fighting style of the Hyugas is pretty simple. It's all just palms and fingers. That sounds really weird. I can actually see why they didn't add Hiyashi as a playable character now. That makes so much sense. You know, palms and fingers. But coming up with a Himawari moveset would actually be really fun and very enjoyable because she is the daughter of the great Naruto Uzumaki and Hinata Uzumaki now. So with her being, you know, the literal spawn of the 2 of the greatest shinobi, or the 2 of some of the greatest shinobi in the Leaf Village, she's bound to have a really good moveset. Not only that, but with her being the daughter of Naruto, she is bound to have some really good type chakra type beat. I'm not saying she's been summoning in a 9 Tails or anything, obviously that's not possible, but you know, if Boruto is out here with getting the Jogan or whatever, then what can Himawari do? This is why I think she has a lot of potential for a very good moveset. And obviously, if CC2 doesn't have these characters planned as DLC, this video is literally a reminder of, hey, you have great resources and assets there. Use them. Anyways, that's pretty much all I gotta say. It's just pointing everybody to the possibilities of other DLC characters. I was literally just going ahead and actually customizing my voice lines, and I come across these. It just seems like a waste if you're gonna add voice lines and not make them DLC characters down the line. And let's be real, we're all gonna pay that money to get DLC of Shikadai, Inojin, and Himawari at some point. Like, come on, these are some pretty interesting characters to play as, right? And I do need to complete my Yamanaka style team of having Ino, Sai, and Inojin. I just hope they make Inojin like a strike back or a charge guard at least. Anyways, tell me your thoughts down in the comment section below. I hope this video actually gives you some idea on what characters you would like to see playable. So if that's the case, please be sure to tell me what characters you want to see playable down in the comment section below. And let me know your thoughts on the likes of Inojin, Shikadai, and Himawari. Do you want to see them? Do you not want to see them? What do you want their moveset to look like? Anyways, as always, it's been your boy Poison Akami. Janet.